probably that's a great question. No one has ever asked me that question. After 4 million questions, that's the first time anybody's asked that question.
The three of you think you have extraordinary gifts, like something out of a comic book.
The first scene when we saw Samuel L. Jackson in Unbreakable is at the art gallery.
Yes.
It's a very elegant description of good versus evil.
Yes.
What do you think it's Elijah Price will think about the superhero genre nowadays? And also you as a writer of the movie, what do you think?
Well, let's see. What would Elijah think? You mean about like the Marvel movies and DC movies and all that stuff?
All this boom.
Yeah, I think he would be very critical of them. Because he would be, coming from a place of art and treating it with great respect. So he might say, that uniform, he could never fight in that uniform. That's not realistic or whatever. He would have quips with everything. He's a kind of a erudite PhD version of comic books. So that's where he would be.
And this is a piece of art.
On my front, I really enjoy the mythology of comic books as, it's our, form of mythology. It's our modern form of mythology now. And that's very normal. Egyptians had it, everyone had it, different times. And now we call it comic books, but it's just, you put the words comic books out of the equation. It's just stories where people are extraordinary. And maybe they're bigger than life. They're almost like gods, gods amongst us. And those stories have always existed and have needed to be there.
I saw at the Aspen Institute a conference that you did, and you mentioned.
Look at you, doing your research. Okay.
And I saw that you mentioned the two ways that you have to tell your story. The one that you are a successful director, and the other one that you have some probably movies. What did you learn from that experience, from those ways?
You can see your life in any lens you want to look at it. And so I told them a version of my life where you could look at it with only failure, and then you can look at it as only incredible achievement. And yet they coexisted. And so whichever one I want to focus in on, that's where my energy is going to be, and I can both are equally true if you want to believe it that way. And so when the challenges that those kids were facing, I was trying to give them a sense of agency, which is what the overall thing I was teaching them was something that I believe in, that we all get lost when we focus our energy on the things that we don't have control over. There are two columns to life, the things you have control over and the things you don't. Put all your energy into the things you have control over. So if you were writing a song, focus in on the music and what you're trying to say and all of that. Don't worry about how it'll be received, because I do believe the universe is a benevolent place. That I do believe. And so if you put your energy here, this will work out. It might mean your first album fails. That still is working out because you haven't met the producer or the voice that you need to have happen. Keep focusing. It's going to happen.
And what do you think is the movie that teached you the most, the movie that you made?
The movie that I've made that has taught me the most about filmmaking?
As a filmmaker and also as a narrative.
Yeah, probably. That's a great question. No one has ever asked me that question. After 4 million questions, that's the first time anybody's asked that question. I would probably say the movie Wide Awake, which was the movie right before Sixth Sense. And I made it for Miramax, and it was me just figuring, I was 22, just trying to figure out how to tell stories. And there was a particular scene that went really well, and I was like, why did that scene go well? Why did that, when I was editing and I was shooting it and I was editing it, what was it about that scene that connected and made me feel like I could tell the story? And it was my analysis of that scene that made me have these theories about filmmaking that I then extrapolated on and then wrote them down and then executed in Sixth Sense, and have continued to kind of work on as I've made these other movies. So that would be the movie.
How was to go back to those deleted scenes? Because I understand that you used some deleted scenes from Unbreakable here in Glass. How was to go back and as a director see?
Incredible. Yeah, incredible. I was happy to see it. And it's very astonishing to see, like, say, an actor from 18 years ago cutting to their younger selves and then cutting to where they are now, seeing Bruce Willis 18 years younger, then cutting to him now, and seeing his son 18 years younger and cutting to now, or each one of them, it's a powerful thing to see somebody age on screen like that. We saw it in Boyhood, and to be able to have that in this movie is amazing. And those scenes have always stuck with me because I worked really hard on them and I didn't get to put them in Unbreakable.
Split, Glass, and Unbreakable are for the broken are more evolved than us. Why are you attracted to those kind of stories?
That is nature. That is the way it is. You know, the thing that has to struggle is stronger. It comes out stronger. The thing that even wine has more taste. The grapes that have to fight through the rocks and on the side of the hill, they have more taste. They have more more texture and all that stuff. We need struggle to be the best version of ourselves. You know, there is no, when you work out, what you're doing is you're tearing your muscle. You're tearing it, and it grows back stronger. So even that, just the nature of what we're saying when we work out, you're tearing and building it stronger. So it's a good thing for that to happen.
This trilogy is the characters that believe in themselves. At the end of Unbreakable and Split, they believe in themselves. How are we going to see it on Glass?
Are you saying what is the ending of Glass? Is that what you're saying?
No, not really. Now that they realize about why.
Well, that's what you have to come see, because I'm going to make a hard argument for both, for doubt and for belief during when you see Glass about, are there extraordinary things inside us? Again, kind of what I was telling those kids, that there's two ways to look at everything. So which way do you choose to look at it?
What have you done, Elijah?